Humans were new to the galaxy, and nobody could expect what they could do. It was another boring annual climb of the pyramid, a mostly endurance-based set of challenges that ended in a 10-kilometer race uphill to the top. This was the 1362nd race, and the first to feature humans. To be honest, they looked ridiculous. They were small and bipedal, mostly no hair and proportionally a bit short arms. They were expected to lose, and badly. There were bets that the Grapal wouldn't be the last ones this time, as they were for almost 6 centuries back-to-back. And so the games began. The first level was simple. You needed to climb. There were all kinds of grabby spots to choose from, each more difficult ones being faster and easier being the slowest. Here the contestants would only race for time, because racing each other would be just a horrible, idiotic idea. And then came the humans' turn. Their time to beat was 2 minutes and 3.8 seconds. An absolutely ridiculous time that the quadpedal and 4-armed Giligi set, narrowly staying behind their record of 2 minutes and 2.34 seconds. But the human team had an expert on climbing, one Mr. Ricardo Washington, a 4-times Olympic gold winner. Like the sports achievements from a backwater world with subpar species would interest anybody. He chose the hardest one. Or more accurately, didn't even look at the other ones and went for it like an idiot. You see, the hardest wall to climb was made of coarse, uneven stones set at an unprecedented 10-degree angle. To this day, nobody have managed to get over quarter of the way through it. Well, what if I was to say that this absolute mad lad climbed it like he learned it before learning how to breathe? He was like an FTL engine set to overclock. Oh, and he broke the record by climbing it in 35.89 seconds. Yeah, he was mad. And the other climbers were stunned. Not because of the time, but because he did the impossible like it was nothing. That was 100 points to the humans. Second trial went fuck all, as the humans had another trick up their sleeves. It was a hit the target type of game, where you had to hit a target from the impossible distance of 100 meters. This was mostly a who can hit the closest, because whose sane sentient person would abuse their body to hit that thing? Well, the humans sent out a javelin thrower, who had recently broken their world record. Well, dear viewers, as you might expect, the species who has a dedicated competition on throwing stuff the farthest would be good at throwing, and they were. Everyone was given 3 chances, as was the norm. The furthest throw before the human, one Michael Phillips, was a Golomian, who had managed to throw his spear, 14 meters, from the target, and needing an arm amputation straight after. Well, the human threw his first spear, his chosen projectile, beyond the target, almost impaling a referee standing there. The second spear went even further, this time impaling the target's shadow, and then, on the third one, he hit the target. Well, not hit as much as it was, straight on, impaling so hard that it broke from its supports, and he whined that none of them beat his personal best. 100 fucking points to the humans, again. Third challenge was a doozy. This time you needed to go through an obstacle course. Well, dear viewers, humans had multiple game shows about this. Multiple. Game shows. That went so expectedly that I had to eat my clipboard due to a failed bet. Note should have brought some hualaga sauce. Last challenge, and the grand finale, was of course the race. The one the humans should have lost, and wouldn't even needed to fucking participate to win. The matter of fact was that they were slow, like really slow. Last year's last place finisher was 20% faster, minimum. Well, you know how there are these decorated walls? Around the climb that lead you to the next level of the ascend? The ones that, if you could climb them, you could skip 30 minutes, minimum. Yeah, those ones. Well, fucking guess twice what the humans sent. Someone they call a free runner or a parkour expert. The person whose whole thing is climbing and jumping and sliding on top of buildings. Yeah, it went so expectedly that I need to tell it to be able to run ads here. So they sent a lanky, young male by the name of Oliver Prance, a would-be laughingstock if it wasn't for the Either Humans performances. So, he was placed at the furthest spot they could put him in, just to give others a change due to how the humans had performed in previous challenges. And so they were off, with a stampede that could shake a tree off of its fruit. The human, however, jogged casually, slowly approaching the first bend, which conveniently just so happens to be the first location of those decorsted wall pieces. Well, he took some speed, and into it, jumping onto a wall of the dent in the wall, and jumping from it to the other side, and again to the first side, and then again onto the other side, from which he could grab a ledge and be faced with a statue embedded into the wall, which he then, dear viewers, proceeded to climb and then use its head as a stepping stone to the ledge of the second level. Yes, he had just skipped 1 hour of racing in such short time that the fastest contestants weren't even at the halfway point of the first tier. And he was halfway in the second tier. Then he decided to do it again, but this time taking a break to tie his fucking shoes. Yeah, he basically made mockery of the whole pyramid. And then, on the third tier, he decided to just casually jog it through to the fourth and steepest level. Yeah, did I mention that from second tier onwards the levels would be sloped? And the slope would become steeper the higher you went? Well, he skipped most of the race, and then just to mock others further, when he reached the peak, instead of pressing the buzzard that signals that someone had finished, he decided to lay down and wait. And wait he did, because after what felt like sin eternity, the first competitor arrived. My brother, Hrikas, representing our species of Drukian. Then he just rose up and casually pressed the button, taking the gleam of hope from my brother away. Anyhow, I need to visit my brother in a mental hospital, so I will leave you to ponder on how the fuck did humans become into being.